17. Trucker teaches carjackers a lesson. When faced with carjackers, one brave trucker refused to be a victim. And in this video, we witness an epic moment unfold. The trucker sprang into action as the carjackers clumsily emerged from their stolen SUV. With nerves of steel, the hero skillfully maneuvers his truck, revving the engine and confronting the would-be thieves. In a split-second decision, he accelerated, sending the startled carjackers scattering like frightened rabbits and pushing their SUV out of his way even as he escaped. Number 18. Manhole cover thief gets instant karma. It was the case of poetic justice when this thief in Colombia learned the hard way that crime is never right. His audacious attempt to steal a manhole cover backfired spectacularly, landing him in the drain, and as the thief struggled to lift the heavy metal lid, a curious biker approaches, prompting him to lift it triumphantly, only to lose his balance and plunge into the hole. The thwarted thief then runs off, embarrassed and in pain, leaving the scene to lick his wounds. Number 19. Cobblestone thieves. Obviously, intelligence is not a requirement for committing a crime, because this one quickly turned into a comedy of errors. The genius plan here? Throwing cobblestones at a parked car, hoping to score some loot. But little did they know their every move was being watched by vigilant police who were monitoring things. Unfortunately for them, the car turned out to be empty, leaving them empty-handed and exposed. These stone-throwing bandits were swiftly apprehended, and their dreams of ill-gotten gains were shattered. Number 20. Drive-through squirt prank gone wrong. This mischievous customer thought that she could pull a prank on a fast food worker. Armed with a gaudy water gun, she aimed to surprise him with a watery blast. With the camera rolling, she strategically hid the water gun on her lap, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And as she approached the counter to pick up her food, she unleashed a torrent of water instead of reaching out for the order, catching the unsuspecting worker off guard. However, things quickly spiraled out of control. Seething with rage, the drenched employee retaliated with a massive cup of hot coffee. That definitely hurts a lot more than water. Number 21. Real-life road rash ends in tears. This man needs a class in anger management because his vengeance turned around to be his menace. After chasing down a car that had previously prevented it from overtaking in a blind spot, he catches up with the car and decides to kick the side door. But this is his undoing, as he's sent free-falling on the other side of the road. Number 22. A man falls into the river while trying to nudge a dog inside. As the old saying goes, he who digs a pit shall fall into it. While the dog was standing enjoying the cool breeze from the river, this man decided to be mischievous, and of course he regretted his actions almost instantly as he fell into the river while trying to nudge the dog inside. Number 23. Man scares cat and instantly regrets it. Some might say he had the right to chase the cat away off the hood of his car, but he didn't have to unnecessarily scare it. He kept kicking his windscreen to scare the cat, but when the fate turned, he broke his windshield while kicking at the cat. Number 24. A man pushes his friend, suffers the same fate. In this very hot weather, a good swim might just be needed. However, is that enough reason for this man to shove his friend? Fortunately, after helping his friend into the pool, nature drags him into it, and he trips and falls inside the pool too. Number 25. Rear-end collision escape. It all seemed like a regular slow traffic day when the speeding driver's rear end collided with the car in front of him. Instead of him stepping down and settling amicably, the driver thinks it's wise to drive away, but unfortunately there is a police officer watching the entire drama, and he chases him down instantly. Number 26. An overspending driver almost caught an accident before being pulled over by a cop. It would seem like this man failed an audition for the Fast and the Furious franchise. He just kept zooming past cars in a very reckless manner and almost caused another car to crash. While he's feeling like Vin Diesel, a cop pulls him over and reminds him there are rules in real life. Number 27. It pays to be respectful always. This smart man feels that it's okay to give another driver the bird just because he drives out faster than him, but karma, like they say, comes unexpectedly. While focused on making fun of the other driver, he crashed into the car in front of him. The cost for his disrespect is fixing his and the victim's car, and hopefully his insurance will cover both. Number 28. Ball ricochets to the face. Now, we don't have a full idea of what's going on here, but it seems like one man is punishing the other, and when he tries to take things further, karma comes to play. He kicks the ball so hard that missing the intended target only brings the ball back to his face in full force. Number 29. Never jubilate too early. This team had just taken the lead with 0.6 seconds left in the game, and they were so excited that they forgot that the clock was still running. What could possibly go wrong in under a second? Well, the other team gets the ball and decides that it's not over until it's over. They shoot from their own half just before the buzzer to give the team the final lead. That surely was a roller coaster of emotions. Number 30. Fake penalty goes wrong. Soccer is a game of skill, but some players get too skillful, and the skills eventually become less impactful at the end of the day. This guy could have just played the penalty kick and probably would have scored, but he decided to show off a skill he hasn't mastered yet, so he fell while trying to fake and kick the ball weakly to the keeper. Number 31. Don't mock your enemies. No one's saying you shouldn't jubilation, but why would you hug a guy whose team you just scored on? There's no point in kicking your enemies when they're already on the ground. It could earn you a punch in the face, just like our jubilating player. Number 3. Celebrate with caution. As I say, it's not over till it's over. Still, though, this ice skater probably doesn't believe in that because he began his premature jubilations just a few inches from the finish line. That singular act would cost him all he had worked for since the race began because another racer gave his all until the finish line. Number 33. Taunting and racing doesn't combine. It would be a tight race with two prospective winners. Everyone was at the edge of their seats, eyes trailing the legs of the runners. At this point, one of the leading athletes decided to taunt the others, and that didn't end well for him because he tripped and fell, going from a prospective winner to a sure loser. Number 34. You spit, you get drenched. Either it's due to hate or jealousy, I don't know for sure, but whatever his reasons might be, it doesn't make any sense that he made it a point of duty to spit on the new cars in this dealership every time he passed by, until the day that karma caught up with him. After spitting as usual, he attempts to pedal away, only to be drenched in bone-chilling water by one of the dealership's staff. Number 35. Coach versus crate. Now, you probably let it out when you're frustrated by shouting, crying, screaming, or hitting something. This coach prefers to kick things instead. His team had just lost a penalty kick and he was angry, so he kicked the crate and got his foot stuck inside. Hopefully he's learned his lesson already. Number 36. Jaywalking into a pole. Crossing the road should be done fast and with safe urgency, but this man decides to take advantage of the calmness of the road and stares down at a car while jaywalking majestically. The bad news for him is that he strolls and hits his head into a pole instead of facing where he's going. Number 37. The player quickly regrets the cheap tackle attempt. 3 things to never do. Do not get in you are far away from, never rush too fast into a fight, and never target a person who isn't involved in a fight because, in a very nasty attempt to hit an opponent with a cheap tackle, this player slams himself hard into the wall. Number 38. Taxi robber caught in the act by police. This guy decided it was a good day to commit an armed robbery, but he didn't know that the day would end on a very sad note for him. He jumps to the back of a taxi and demands money from the poor driver at gunpoint, and even after the taxi driver gives him all of his proceeds, he still wants the man's wallet and phone. In this process, the police arrived and arrested him right in the act. Number 39. Wasp fights back. Normally, wasps are not choice food, so what brought this Chinese man to try a special delicacy is oblivious to us, but one thing we do know is that we won't be trying it again anytime soon because the wasp did what we expected it to do. It bit him and left him with swollen lips and an itchy throats. Number 40. Stupid plays lead to stupid prices. Not everyone enjoys being joked with when it comes to their meal. I know I'm not, and this dog also does not fancy that because this man learned that in the most painful way possible. After taunting the dog a couple of times, the dog grabs what is closest to its mouth, which happens to be his genitals. These stories have shown us that sometimes you reap what you want fast enough. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you have any stories of instant karma, share them in the comments below. 9. Foiled by automatic door. This would-be thief had his plans foiled by an unexpected opponent, an automatic door lock. The young culprit thought that he could waltz out of the shop with stolen mobile phones, but little did he know that the door was up for the challenge. The door remained resolutely locked as the thief struggled to escape, much to his frustration. The shop owner had captured the debacle on video and shared it on social media, which would promptly went viral. The sight of the baffled thief desperately trying to outsmart a door had everyone in stitches. Number 10. Shoplifter knocks himself out by running into a glass door. This teenage thief in Washington attempted a daring escape after swiping $18,000 worth of designer handbags from a Louis Vuitton store. But his ill-fated plan was ended abruptly when he collided head-on with a glass window, rendering himself unconscious. Mistaking the transparent barrier for freedom, his quick escape came to an embarrassing halt. Number 11. Thieves locked up in a van. Tired of the crime wave in his city, an Australian delivery driver took matters into his own hands with a clever plan. Leaving his van intentionally open, he lured thieves in, only to trap them inside and hit the gas, giving them a spine-chilling ride. When the van finally stopped and the door swung open, the startled thieves wasted no time fleeing the scene. Number 12. Attempted carjacking thwarted by stick shift. Two teenage carjackers in Maryland learned that stealing a car with a manual transmission isn't as easy as it looks. After demanding the car keys from a man at a gas station in Germantown, they soon realized their mistake when they couldn't figure out how to drive the stick shift. Their escape plan came to a screeching halt as the car refused to move. In desperation, they abandoned the vehicle and attempted to flee on foot, but the police swiftly apprehended them a few blocks away. Number 13. Man robs gas station, former Marine fights back. At a Kentucky gas station, two robbers with knives thought they had an easy target in Aaron Jacobs, the lone night shift cashier. But little did they know he was a former Marine combat trainer and a karate black belt. As one robber approached him from behind, Jacobs sprang into action, swiftly disarming and subduing the attacker. He sent the robber crashing into a display shelf with a single move. Seeing their comrade's defeat, the other one fled the scene. Number 14. Robber pulls out machete, clerk pulls out sword. It was like a Hollywood blockbuster when a convenience store turned into a battleground as two ninja-clad teenagers attempted to rob it with a machete. But they were in for quite the surprise when the cashier unleashed his scimitar-style sword to defend himself. Caught on surveillance camera, the brave cashier skillfully disarmed one of the robbers with his Sinbad-style sword, leaving them stunned. Number 15. House intruder versus Great Dane. This unsuspecting burglar met his match when encountering a fearless 122-pound Great Dane. The security footage captured the dog escorting the thief out, guiding him with his teeth. Thanks to the dog's bravery, the family was safe, and responding officers would swiftly apprehend the culprit. Number 16. Fashion fiasco. As these shoplifters made a desperate dash to their car with stolen clothing, one of the women encountered an unexpected obstacle, a locked car door. The security footage captured her futile attempts to open the door while her partner in crime sped off, leaving her stranded. To add insult to injury, their hasty escape ended in a collision with a police vehicle, and the suspect was apprehended after a short chase. Number 7. In the grand scheme of life, there are moments when the universe seemingly conspires to deliver swift justice. As we embark on this journey through the realms of instant justice, these instances of instant karma, captured on camera, can both mesmerize and inspire. Stay with us as we witness the remarkable and get ready to be captivated by these incredible moments that remind us what goes around truly comes around. Here are 40 instant karma moments caught on camera. Number 1. Man loses his phone. Interacting respectfully with people is always good, irrespective of where you meet them. Well, it seems this young man wasn't raised with such a mindset, as he can be seen shouting cuss words and giving the middle finger to another road user. As if that wasn't enough, he brought out his phone to record, and it was at that point that karma said, "I've had enough," because as he brought it out, the wind blew the phone out of his hands and onto the road, instantly crashing the phone. Would we say it serves him right? Number 2. He falls after trying to kick a stray dog. This next video begins harmless enough with a man strolling down the street when suddenly he spots a hapless stray dog and aims with his left foot, seemingly intent on causing harm. But fate intervenes just as he prepares to strike. He loses his footing and tumbles hard onto his back instead of hitting the innocent dog. As the man struggles to regain his composure, the dog gives him a piercing gaze before darting away from the scene. Number 3. Overspeeding man gets pulled over by cops. Imagine driving home from work minding your own business when suddenly a BMW whizzes past you at an alarming speed. It's as if this daredevil behind the wheel has no regard for the rules of the road, and to make matters worse, this audacious driver chose to flaunt their speed in a school zone with a 15-mile-per-hour limit. But here's where the tables turn dramatically. Just a few moments later,